Let's be honest. Modern life doesn't demand the same kind of courage it used to. We are not out fighting wolves or sailing into the unknown land, but still, fear is everywhere, right? Fear of failure, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. And lately, I've been thinking about the Vikings, not just as warriors, but as people who lived by a brutal, beautiful code. A code that wasn't about brute strength, but about honor, discipline, and walking toward fear. Let's talk about what the Viking mindset can teach us, especially if you're trying to live boldly in your own life. Honor was everything, and not just on the battlefield. We think of honor today like some old movie idea. But for the Vikings, it was currency. It was reputation. If you lost your honor, you lost everything. But here's the truth. Viking honor wasn't about winning. It was about showing up with courage, even when you were outnumbered, even when you knew you might lose. There's an old Norse proverb that says, "Cattle die, kinsmen die, you yourself die." But I know one thing that will never die, and that is the reputation of each dead man. That hits hard, doesn't it? So, what does that mean for us today? It means doing the right thing, especially when no one's watching you. It means following through, speaking truthfully, owning your choices. Try this today. Ask yourself, what decision would I make if I wanted to build real self-respect? Not comfort, not likes, but honor. Discipline was survival and ritual. Discipline gets a bad rap these days. It sounds cold, rigid. But for Vikings, discipline was life or death. They had to train constantly, rowing, crafting their weapons, hunting, surviving winters. But beyond that, they had rituals. Sharpening a blade wasn't just maintenance, it was meditation. Preparing for a raid wasn't just strategy, it was sacred. Some Viking warriors practiced something called berserker gang, entering a trance before battle to silence fear and awaken focus. Now, you don't need to go full berserker in your 9 to 5, but the lesson: create daily rituals that train your focus, sharpens your edge, and connect you to something deeper. Whether it's a cold shower or a morning walk or writing in your journal, discipline isn't punishment. It's preparation. It's what makes you reliable to yourself. Fear was faced, not avoided. Here's the part I love most. Vikings ran towards fear. That wasn't recklessness, that was training. They believed death was inevitable, but how you faced it, that was your legacy. And it didn't have to be literal war. Even in personal life, facing the fear of rejection, of change, of vulnerability was considered a mark of strength. One old tale tells of a Viking who was challenged to a duel. He had no chance of winning, but he accepted it anyway because fear was seen something to answer, not escape. And even though he lost, people remembered his name. What about you? What's one thing you've been avoiding just because it scares you? That hard conversation, that big move, that dream you keep shelving? Facing it, even imperfectly, builds the muscle that the Viking code lived by. You don't have to be a warrior to live like one. Look, you don't need a shield or a sword to live with honor. The Viking way was about showing up fully, with clarity, with courage, with commitment to something bigger than ego. So here's what I'll leave you with. Honor is doing what's right when no one's clapping. Discipline is training for the life you say you want. Facing fear isn't recklessness, it's sacred. If the old Viking spirit speaks to you, tell me in the comments, what's your modern version of going into battle? Thanks for watching, and remember, strength doesn't mean never feeling fear. It means stepping forward anyway.